Hey guys, are you taking the SAT soon and wondering what's the worst that could happen on SAT day? My name is Brooke and I've been tutoring the SAT for over a decade, and I'm going to share with you today a couple of the worst scenarios that have ever happened to students that I've tutored. Horror stories, if you will. And hopefully there's a few lessons in there of what not to do, so that you don't get yourself in terrible trouble. But before we get started with those horror stories, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to our channel by clicking subscribe and head to our website, supertutortv.com/subscribe, where you can sign up for our mailing list to find out everything awesome going on here at supertutortv.com. I'm really excited to let you guys know that we're planning to do a full prep course for the SAT that we're going to be releasing during or before the fall of 2018. So if you're taking the SAT down the line, definitely sign up, keep posted, and we'll tell you about that. And for now, if you happen to be taking the ACT, check out the best ACT prep course ever at supertutortv.com. It's over 50 hours of video tutoring with me. It's as close as you can get to elite private tutoring without actually doing elite private tutoring, and it does not have the exorbitant cost. So go and check that out. Okay, so the first story is, I have this student, and this was several years ago. This student actually has graduated from college now. And this is a student that I was tutoring, and we probably worked together for like 6 months. So she was super ready for the SAT. She was ready to go in and nail it. She had all of her ducks in a row. She was prepared, right, etc. And she showed up to the test and she forgot her ID. So she talked to the proctor and she said, well, like, my mom can text me a copy of my ID. So her mom texted her a copy of her ID, and the proctor said, okay, why don't you go in and start the test, and then we'll call the college board and try to figure this out and try to figure this ID thing out and see whether your parents have to drive your ID in or how we're going to handle this. So she was like, great, cool. So she sits down, she starts taking her test. She gets through all of the multiple choice portion of the test. And then the proctor comes up to her and taps her on the shoulder and says, we've got to talk, and takes her out and says, basically, they called the college board and we're talking to the college board, and the college board said, hey, you said that she has her ID on a cell phone. They said, first of all, that's not an acceptable ID. And they said, second of all, where is her cell phone? Does she have her cell phone with her right now? They said, yeah, she's taken the test. She's in there and she's got her cell phone with the copy of the ID on it. And the person from the college board said, well, she's not allowed to have her cell phone in the testing center at all. You need to immediately eject her from the test, cancel her score, and she's not allowed to take this SAT. She has to take it on a different day. So this was, I believe, the May SAT, and she was a junior. So what happened is she took the entire SAT, and then the whole thing got canceled. And not only that, she had prepped for like 6 months. She decided not to take it in March and to take it in May. And this was a year before the August ACT was even offered. And her family was planning an overseas trip, I think, in June. So she couldn't take that test. And basically she was left with very few options, with like one SAT left in October or something like that. So total horror story. Her score didn't count. I think eventually the college board apologized and said, hey, we'll pay for your next SAT test take. But how frustrating is that, that you're so ready for the exam, you're totally ready to go, and everything you did, not only that, you took the whole test and you felt good about the test, and then it completely gets canceled. It totally sucked. So the moral of the story of this SAT horror story is twofold. One thing is that I always tell students, don't even bring your cell phone. If it's at your high school, go put it in your locker before you take the exam, if possible. If you drive to the SAT yourself, put it in your car, in your glove box, but don't bring your cell phone to the SAT. And then the other moral of the story is make sure you have an acceptable ID before you go and take the SAT, and that you bring it with you. Okay, my second SAT horror story is actually a recent student. And this student also had like prepped hardcore for the SAT. He was ready for it. He'd done his homework. And he had actually taken the SAT once already, did not do nearly as well as his practice exams, and was slated to take the August exam. And I had asked him a few weeks before the test, you know, you've got your registration done, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. So he's all ready to go. Well, he wakes up the morning of the exam. He logs into his College Board account to print out his ticket, and he realizes he didn't sign up for the test. And not only did he not sign up for the test, he didn't realize it till the morning of the exam. So you can sign up to test standby a few days before the exam. I think like if the exam's on Saturday, if you contact College Board by Monday, you can sign up for the standby list if you like forgot to sign up. But the day of the exam, you can't just go standby. Like, that's not how it works. You can't just show up at the school and be like, oh, I need to test, and like, I'm not on record. So basically, he hadn't signed up for the test. He thought he'd signed up and he didn't sign up. And he totally prepped for it. He was super ready for it. And then he couldn't take it at all. Luckily, he could take it in October and everything was fine. And he got what he needed. But the second moral of the story is make sure you signed up for the SAT. And just because you click through some of the menus when you go to sign up for the SAT, and I think this is maybe what happened, it's like a really long process to sign up for this thing. And just because you enter like some of the information and you select the high school and you do that, you have to complete the whole registration process, and they should email you immediately after you've signed up. So if for some reason you think you signed up and you don't get that email or you don't get that confirmation, you probably didn't sign up. The other thing that I'll say is usually the College Board will email you a week before the exam or the week of the exam and remind you of stuff and like what to bring and to print out your admission ticket and all that good stuff. So if it's the week of the exam and you haven't gotten any emails, like be suspect and go and check things out. And if you sign up and you don't see that email in your inbox, be extra careful. And that's it today for Horror Stories. I hope none of this happens to you and you guys are careful. Watch our videos if you want to be super careful that you remember everything and don't forget everything. We have what to pack for the SAT. That's a really good one. We also have what to study the night before the SAT. We have lots of blogs too, all over supertutortv.com. So go check that out if you want more information, if you want concordance tables, if you want free SAT tests. We've got resources and all sorts of things there. So go check it out. Follow us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, and I will see all of you guys next time on Super Tutor TV. Ciao for now.